I'm Mark Callie in Mr. Saltwater Tank, and this is Mr. Saltwater Tank TV. Aquascaping is a subject that brings dread to saltwater tank owners' minds. Everybody wants to try to get those beautiful arches and caves, but rarely this happens. Most people's tanks look like, as my friend Rick says,
"Geez, it looked like I just dumped it out of a bucket."
Or you see those tanks where the rock is piled up and it stops about halfway up the tank. This is because you can't put any more rock work on top of it because it would all fall down. When that happens, it crushes your corals and probably will crush and kill some fish at the same time. Not a good thing. Now some people get creative with epoxy and PVC structures and zip ties, and they can make their tanks aquascaping do wild things, but I've never had success with it. I don't have the patience, it always ends up trapping detritus, or it all falls down in the end anyway. Well, some good news for you. My friend Steven, remember the guy with the big 440-gallon tank that you've seen on Mr. Saltwater Tank TV? He's turning me on to a great product that makes aquascaping really easy, and it lets you get creative without having to do complicated things like epoxy and zip ties. What's the product? Well, it's the Aqua Mag. The Aqua Mag is like a rock, but it's not, and it's like a magnet, but it does a whole lot more. It's a piece of man-made rock with a magnet attached. This kind of setup lets you put the Aqua Mag wherever you want in your tank. You don't have to worry about rocks being underneath it, or about zip tying, epoxying things together. Stick it where you want, move it around, place it wherever you want in your tank. Ultimate freedom. Now that's just one great thing about the Aqua Mag, and I've been testing them for the past 2 months in my tank, and I've come up with some really good things that you can use them for, such as, let's say you stick it in your tank like this, and you say, oh yeah, it's pretty good, you know, it's flat, for the most part, it's got a little ridge over here, but yeah, it's not bad, but it's not really the look that I want. Well, since it's stuck on with a magnet, I can rotate it to get any other look that I want. Let's say you want more of a vertical look. Well, all you gotta do is turn the Aqua Mag, and boom, you got it. You can use this, let's say you got 2 rocks like this, and you can't fit another piece of live rock in between there. Turn your Aqua Mag and whoop, fit it right in between those pieces of rock. Very easy to do. It's very useful for this. You don't have to worry about rocks sticking together or about epoxying them at the same time. Just put the Aqua Mag where you want it, rotate it in any direction that you want it, and you're done. One of my favorite corals is my Superman Monopora. It grows really fast and it's super colorful. However, it's an encrusting moni, means that it just grows over the rock that it's sitting on. This is a problem when I want to frag it, because the only way that I can frag it is to either haul it out of my tank or try to break up bits of it underwater. Either way, I'm destroying the piece of live rock that it's sitting on. Well, in comes the Aqua Mag. You can use it to grow out and easily frag your encrusting corals. For example, I have this piece of Danae, which is another encrusting coral, right here on my Aqua Mag Junior. Over time, the coral is going to completely encrust over the Aqua Mag. When I want to make a frag of it, I can either get in there with my bone cutters underwater, or since the Aqua Mag is so easy to remove, all I gotta do is grab it, take it out, cut off the pieces that I want, and boom, I got my frags to sell. No more destroying my live rock and having to work around and re-aquascape my tank. And once I've cut all the Aqua Mag down where there's nothing left, save myself a little piece, get a new Aqua Mag, start the whole process all over again. It's a fantastic way to frag out and grow out your encrusting corals. Anemones and LPS coral are some of the most rewarding animals to keep. However, there's a drawback to them. Both of them have stinging tentacles that can reach out, sting, and kill neighboring corals. So let's say that you have a nice piece of LPS or an anemone, and you have this great looking piece of SPS sitting right next to it. If that LPS or that anemone reaches out and kills that SPS, you're probably not going to be too happy about it. Well, here's something else that's great with the Aqua Mag. Let's say we have our nice anemone here, woo, nice and pretty, and you have your SPS sitting on the Aqua Mag. Let's say your anemone goes, I'm just going to come over here and see what's going on with this SPS. All you got to do is just slide the Aqua Mag over, keep it out of range of that anemone or that LPS, save your SPS coral, and you get to save your LPS or your anemone. No more choosing between the two. The Aqua Mag, just easily move it out of the way and keep both of those animals that you love. Here's my favorite use that I've found of the Aqua Mag. You get to ditch those ugly egg crate algae attracting frag racks. Since the Aqua Mag is so easy to drill, which I'm going to show you in a minute, you can very easily make it into a frag rack. I took the full-size Aqua Mag, drill some holes in it, and it works great for my frags. No longer do I have to use that ugly egg crate frag rack that I don't like anyway. The Aqua Mag looks natural in my tank and it doesn't attract algae. Speaking of frag racks, since the Aqua Mag is connected with magnets, you can very easily use it to acclimate new corals to your lights. Put the corals on the Aqua Mag, start at the bottom of your tank, and over the course of days and weeks, slowly move it up your tank. Very easy to do, easier on your corals, better, happier corals are always a good thing. Since the Aqua Mag is so porous, it makes a great hideout for copepods and amphipods. No predator can get in there to eat those pods, so it makes a great place for them to breed and kick out more pods. It's almost like an ant farm in your aquarium. It's cool to look at on the backside, and it grows more pods for your tank. One of the most annoying things about keeping corals is getting those pesky coral plugs to stick to your rock. Epoxy I found doesn't work that great, and superglue works okay, but they always seem to pop off, which is really annoying. Now some people have started drilling their rock with mason bits like this one to put holes in their rocks where they can stick the coral plugs. And this is great if you had the insight to do it before you set up your tank. But most of us didn't, and once your tank is set up, you're not going to be grabbing a big bit like this and a drill and drilling underwater in your tank. Not going to happen. Well, here's something else that's great about the Aqua Mag. Since it's so light and porous, it's very, very easily drilled. That means you don't have to use a mason bit. All you got to do is grab your drill and a 1/2-inch bit like this one, and you can drill all the holes that you want in the Aqua Mag. Watch, I'll show you. All you got to do is sit the Aqua Mag on a solid surface, grab your drill bit, pick where you want your hole, and then start drilling. Get it started. A little faster. Boom, I'm in. Pull it back out. Dump out the excess. And you got a really nice hole right there for your coral plug. No more looking for crevices, trying to epoxy and superglue things. You get a nice hole that plug will fit right into. Since the Aqua Mag is so easy to drill, it's also easy to work in any shape that you want it to. Just grab some bone cutters and start hacking on the Aqua Mag, and you can cut down any ridges that you might not want, or you can make it into any custom shape that you want as well. Very easy to do since this Aqua Mag is so porous. Not that hard. And if you can't get the shape you want, or you need it bigger, or even if you need stronger magnets, Aqua Mag will make it however you want it. Have the Aqua Mag your way, just like Burger King. One of the biggest fears of any reef keeper is getting a pest on one of the corals in their tank. Now, treating pests is usually not that big of a problem. You can just take the coral out and dip it, or put it in a quarantine tank. Well, that works great if you have a little bitty frag on a little tiny plug that's easily popped off. Of course, as fate would have it, you're going to get a pest on the biggest colony in your tank on a piece of coral that's fully encrusted under a rock, and if you take that rock out, it's going to make you re-aquascape your whole tank. Well, let's say that piece of coral was on an Aqua Mag. If you want to dip or quarantine that piece of coral, all you got to do is take the Aqua Mag out of your tank, and you can dip it or put it in your quarantine tank. Easy to do, very, very easy, and you don't have to re-aquascape your whole tank. Now, it is true that when you dip an Aqua Mag with a coral on it, you're going to kill off and lose some of the biological filtration that's into the Aqua Mag. But since it's only a small piece of your tank, you should easily repopulate the bacteria, and you should see no ill effects on your tank. All this talk of ease of use and modularity of the Aqua Mag led me to ask a question. What if you did your whole tank in Aqua Mags? Well, Jim, the owner and maker of the Aqua Mags, did just that. His whole 90-gallon tank is only Aqua Mags. There's no live rock in there whatsoever. He likes it because there's more swimming room for his fish, and he can move his corals around however way he wants. That's certainly one way to do it, an all Aqua Mag tank. And worst comes to worst, say you get out of the hobby, take the backside of your Aqua Mag, turn it into the strongest fridge magnet ever. Why not, right? What else are you gonna do with all that fish stuff that you're not using anymore? So thanks, Stephen, for turning me on to the Aqua Mag. I think they're great. I love mine. To find out more about the Aqua Mags, go to mrsaltwatertank.com/aquamag. Remember, aquascaping your tank doesn't have to be painful. And it certainly doesn't have to be anything that you regret or spend hours on. So I'm Mark Callahan, Mr. Saltwater Tank. This has been Mr. Saltwater Tank TV. Until next time, have a good one, enjoy your tanks, and know your tank personality.